Hey everybody, what's going on? Let me shout out the chat real quick who is patiently waiting for us to get going here. We have to go through all of our vocal exercises. We do
Big
like
Brother updates.
La 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 la.
we do like improv exercises to stay loose before the podcast starts.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Finish each other's sentences, things
Yes,
like that.
we do. Oh,
Mhm.
I tried.
Okay.
I didn't. I should have said sentences at the end, but
A lot
I'm
of
an
tax
idiot.
talk in the chat before we got started today.
Oh, is it tax day?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, Danny.
I already did my job. I'm pretty sure
I
Liz filed.
I do mine. I literally text my CPA like a week out, and I'm like, "Hey, we should have a meeting." And then I go in, and I'm like, "Should I book this? Should I
Earlier?
contact you earlier than a week out?"
January.
And he was like, "That would be helpful." But he's also like, "But it's you. I don't care that bad. But also,
Mhm.
yes, you should." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll note that because I just assumed like you planned on me reaching out a week before tax day." So I got mine done last Thursday.
Yeah.
So that was, which is like way ahead of today.
Yeah.
Way to go, Tyson.
I went to H&R Block one time to do my taxes.
Sounds like a
And
bad move.
I was a bad I went there and I went in person, and then the guy who I was did my taxes. I guess then he
Changed his shirt and put an RB shirt on over it.
No. But it turned out he was a Survivor fan, and this was like in like 2009, maybe 2010. It was like the year I made like maybe my worst year ever, and like I'm like 30, like, and I think I made like $16,000 or something.
Okay.
Like, and he's like, "Oh,
that's better than my worst year.
You're from Survivor," and he was like, "Oh, I did Julie Berry's taxes also." I'm like, "Oh man, he's gonna tell everybody about my."
Were you in LA?
Yeah.
And he probably told people.
Probably. He's like, "Oh man, you know who's really not doing good? Remember Rob? Not that the other Rob from Survivor.
Yeah. He's doing bad.
He's that guy. He's in trouble.
He's doing really bad.
I don't know if he's gonna make it."
Dude, I went to Chick-fil-A one time, right when Winners at War started.
Mm-hmm.
We had Chick-fil-A down the street, and it was its grand opening. So the line was out the door, but my daughter was like, "I want to go to Chick-fil-A." So I was like, "Let's go to the new one." I get there, the line's just like crazy. And the like head of marketing of that area was there for Chick-fil-A. And she was a Survivor fan. So she like finds me in the line. She's like, "Tyson, oh my gosh, can we get a picture?" I was like, "You can get a picture if you can get me to the front of the line."
Good
and
move.
She's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, just gave her my whole order. And she's like, "Just go stand over there." She went and got the whole thing, brought it out. I posed for all the pictures, did all that stuff. Then I see like on Reddit or Twitter or somewhere, they posted the picture, and then somebody was like, "How do you see him?" And they're like, "Well, he accepted free Chick-fil-A, so he probably didn't win." And I was like,
"Wow."
Who said the woman who got you to the front of the line?
There was like a handful of people, like employees that knew who I was. So one of the Chick-fil-A employees from down the chain somewhere, that was their reasoning for me probably not winning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Accepting free food.
Accepting free food and the line. I was like, the line was the important part. I don't give a shit about the cost of the food. Get me to the front of the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Is anybody like, "Nah, well, no, I'm actually
I'd rather wait in line and pay for it.
I'm too rich. I would prefer to wait in line and pay for my Chick-fil-A."
That's what all rich people do, wait in lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And with Klarna now, I could have afforded it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hell Klarna.
Hell Klarna. All right. Let me turn this on. Okay. Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of April 15th, 2025, here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yeah, that's right. News AF is back here on Federal Income Tax Day. Everybody, hope that you are filed and on top of it. If not,
File that extension.
yes, hopefully you get that all worked out. Okay, here are the guys who are, give my life extension every week.
Mm-hmm.
Here is Pickleball's top influencer, Tyson Apostol. Tyson, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Lots of pickleball news coming up in the next few weeks.
What's going on?
Oh, wow.
Oh, I got some new partners and very exciting. 2 new partners coming in, pickleball brands that we're excited to represent. So that's exciting news. And yeah, that is pickle-tastic. Looks like Mel in the chat yelled "Hell Klarna" at the live, but nobody heard. Was that true,
Mel
Rob? Did you
Hooker
hear it?
is one of the OG. I didn't hear Mel Hooker yell that out during the show. She said it to me in person, but I didn't hear her yell it out during the show.
Yeah, it just flows so good. Like I really do. It's going to be a long-standing joke here, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well,
yeah.
Tyson, hear me out here. Okay, we got to get Hail Klarna merch. Okay, and here's the beauty of it. Here's the genius part of it. Danny, it costs $300 the shirt, and the only way to pay for it.
Yeah, I saw where you were going with that.
I love
7
that.
easy payments.
Yep.
Yes,
Mhm.
I'm
So
in.
the total cost ends up being like $380.
No, if you pay on time, there's no interest, right?
I don't know. I don't use
Interest free with Klarna.
Find out what Klarna can do for you.
Yeah. Not what you can do for Klarna. Yeah. Is that how it goes? Anyways, yeah. What were we talking about?
You were talking about your pickle-tastic
pickleball
life.
partners.
Yeah. I mean, I should be getting some packages today in the mail, and that's about it. And everything is going according to plan.
Oh, really?
Nice.
You have a plan.
No,
Yes.
I have 0 plans.
Winging it.
Like we always do, Danny, what you got going on? Have you planned our next great adventure yet?
Well, I just got back from an
Recovering.
adventure. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't
like-
get it. Did I get an invite? Let me check.
No.
That text message
Check
thread.
your email, but I don't think so. It feels like someone poured about a pound of sand in my eyes. I did a long drive last night, stared into the... it seems like in the summer that the sun is always directly into your eyeballs, no matter which direction you're driving on cross.
That's not true.
No, it really does. Go drive all day, and I promise you it will feel, even if it was only for an hour, it still makes the whole day feel like you were staring directly into the heart of the sun.
You wear sunglasses?
Oh, yeah, I wear, of course.
And do you use the sunshade over the windshield?
These eyes can't take direct sunlight.
Sensitive.
They will melt, or it's just, I'll go blind if I don't have sunglasses. So yes, sunglasses. And yes, I use that stupid shade, which I also can't stand.
Okay.
Like really, we can't come up with a better thing than a piece of plastic that comes down and covers the sun. Like there must be some
and
other
your field
option.
of vision.
Yeah, and your field of vision. Yeah, it's just, come on. This is 2025. I thought we'd have flying skateboards and windshields that tinted themselves or provided some kind of vision while shielding the sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have not experienced that. The sun feels like it's in my eyes every direction I turn.
Well, if you drive to certain locations, like a 10-hour drive, and you drive with the sun, against the sun, right? So you're going like this. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
South,
One hand is the sun and one hand is
yeah. So like if I drive to California, honestly, it can
it's
feel
like
like
this.
the sun is constantly in my eyeballs.
Well, especially if you drive to New York in the morning and then drive to Los Angeles like in the afternoon.
You got to do those in reverse order. So the sun
it's like this
drive halfway and then come back.
And this is a trick that only probably pro cyclists will know. When you go out for a bike ride in either the early morning or the late or the evening, the late afternoon, is you always want the sun to
in the
be
eyes
at
of the
your
drivers.
No, you want the sun at your back so that the drivers behind you can see you, because you don't want the sun in their eyes.
Yeah, I get that.
So
I saw this semi driver
who
had the sun in his eyes coming over a hill. I'm going against him.
Yeah, that's
he was like this, like
Yeah.
he's like shielding his eyes
and looking at his phone and steering with his
and
knees
eating a taco
while eating a taco
and cresting this hill while I'm coming. And I'm like, how am I not going to die on this drive? Especially when everybody's staring directly at the sun.
Yeah.
So I know the sun's important for life, but come on. We need to find better ways to fight it.
So you think a replacement for the sun, or you think just humanity?
I just think like humanity needs to get some better weapons against the sun.
Feed the sky.
What about and what about this?
Well, here we go. We can send up more people to hold them. Like when people go into space, they can
send up 100
umbrellas.
100 Katy Perrys.
Yeah, 100 Katy Perrys tied together in a giant Katy Perry shield.
Why can't we just make a gel that you glop into your eye, and then
that would be cool? That's futuristic, Tyson. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Patent pending.
Yeah, self-tinting like gel.
Well, what about Vision Pro glasses?
Oh, and then it
goggles.
It augments the reality to be a little bit less.
Yeah.
It puts the sun at your back all the time.
Or turns the sun into like a lollipop.
Camera, and then you're seeing what's in the camera, except it's just like with the brightness down.
Yeah, exactly. I like all of this. All of this is better than what we currently have, which is visors, which have been around for 100 years, and sunglasses. It's like, let's update our weapons against the sun.
Okay.
That's all I'm asking.
Wow. Danny on a rampage against the sun. You're going to miss it when it's gone.
I will miss it. But I mean, like all day yesterday, I was in the sun, getting sunburned, the sun reflecting off the snow, and I was just like done with the sun.
Did you get sunblind? You got snowblind. That's the problem.
I have these giant glasses that just cover. They're ridiculous how big they are. They cover so much of my face and eyes. So
are
no,
the ones I gave you.
But even though even though you have the sunglasses, the sun is still wreaking havoc. It's like trying to beat you down mentally, physically.
Yeah.
So,
and that'll do it from the Anti-Sun Council here at News AF.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of News AF. Is there any other podcast in the world where a guy does like 5 minutes just like complaining about the sun?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's no other. You can't get that.
You can't get that.
No, you can't get this anti-sun sentiment.
Almost even Joe Rogan. Even Joe Rogan's pro-sun.
Well, I think he's probably got some anti-sun guys coming on his program.
We'll send you a free Hail Klarna t-shirt. You send us a podcast where somebody else is doing as much material about the sun.
Against the sun. Like I could see a scientist who talks about the damage of the sun, through sunscreen, but real anti-sun hate.
Yeah.
You find 5 minutes of that, I'll be impressed.
Okay. I went to go see the Minecraft movie this weekend.
Oh, did you get chicken rodeo? Gelled?
Jockey.
Chicken jockey. Yes.
Fries and
it didn't get as rowdy as in some of the YouTube videos that I saw.
But
my kids were ready.
Is that a funny part?
I don't know. It's cute. It's cute. It's like Jason Momoa is fighting like a little baby Frankenstein.
I saw Jason Momoa in real life.
Yeah. How was that?
It was at a high school friend's funeral.
Oh, not a great place to see a celebrity.
But they had like a private celebrity area for him and his ex-girlfriend, who is Zoe Kravitz's mom.
Okay.
Who's that? Who's that lady?
Don't know.
Somebody in the chat will tell me. He's pretty tall,
Lisa
but
Bonet?
Yeah. Lisa Bonet was there too. But they had like a roped off celebrity area for those people so that the people at the funeral didn't bug them too much. And I just was there just like hodgepodge former Survivor contestant, not even getting the VIP now.
Oh, you didn't get roped off?
No, but I'm a man of the people, and I was totally fine having the luncheon with the normies.
Someone here released a live chicken during the
what? You're in Minecraft?
Yeah. So
wow.
Liz thought that was embarrassing. She's like, "Oh, another person embarrassing Provo." I'm like, actually, I think that's awesome. How do you sneak a live chicken into a movie theater?
Yeah,
especially when people are watching for these teenagers.
I just snuck in a power bar and some almonds.
Yeah, can you imagine putting
and
a
threw
live
them
chicken down your pants?
No, I just ate them.
Oh, you just ate them? And you do that all the time, or that was for the chicken rodeo?
Don't answer that, because then they'll be on the lookout for Rob smuggling in.
So the only thing that I like, I took my kids to the grocery store. I'm like, hey, we're buying candy here, okay? Because they had to buy Lunchly. They're like, Dad, we need Lunchly. I said, you know what? No Lunchly. But my wife already said yes, and so we paid like $6 each for the Lunchly. I said the only thing is that buy candy here. I'm not buying it at the movie theater. Okay?
Yeah, but Tyson's right. You got to buy the cheap candy to throw during the chicken.
No, there wasn't to throw. It was to eat. But just last thing on the movie theater, when we got to the movie theater, I took my family to the wrong theater. They were pissed. And we were cutting it close. Right theater was 25 minutes away.
So you went to the wrong theater and then had to go to another theater? Oh, no.
That's correct.
Because you had
That's
tickets.
Correct. My kids were, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss the movie.
During
like,
that
guys, you're stressing me out.
So 25-minute drive from the wrong theater to the right theater?
I was going like 85 miles an hour on the highway.
Was the sun in your eyes during that drive?
No, no sun in my eyes.
Okay, good.
We got to the theater. We go in. They go to their seats, and I go wait on the long ass concession line. And I'm getting their order of like, well, I want a slushy, slushy, popcorn,
a unicorn slushy. I'll have a blue one. Yeah.
So and they have like all of like the packages. They're not even deals because I don't even think they're any cheaper.
There is no such thing as a deal.
And so I'm like, all right, can I get this and this? I'm like, can I just tell you what I want and you tell me? And she's like, I'm like, I need 2 small slushies and 2 large popcorn. And she and I'm like, how much is that? And she turns it around. She's like, is this price okay? And I said, it's really not, but I mean, what am I going to do?
Was she offering you the chance to barter or to
no? She as soon as the words came out of her mouth, she knew she said the wrong thing because I did give her it's really not good.
Yeah. I always say perfect price when things are ridiculously overpriced. Like you go to a baseball game and they're like, okay, that boiled hot dog is $19. I'm like, perfect price. They always laugh. Always.
Rob, that's like a doctor asking if it hurts as he pokes the area that has been
Does it hurt here?
It was just the amount of popcorn that we got. That this cost the movie theater for 2 large popcorns and 2 slushies. This cost the movie theater about 45 cents in raw materials, if that.
$60.
$31 it was.
Perfect price. I want to go back real quick to the Lunchly. There's a group of 5th graders at the elementary school here who are convinced I am Logan Paul. And they always ask me for if I can give them Prime energy drinks. And I'm always like, yeah, I'll get a thing sent to you. And then and they keep daring each other to come up and talk to me and ask me about like Logan Paul stuff. And one of them came up and was like, so how do you like Prime? And I said, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I designed that to be cheap filled with chemicals that are bad for your body. And it's a horrible beverage that nobody should drink. Wow. And his eyes were like, holy crap. And he ran back to his friends. I was like, I just did a good deed. I just did my good deed. Stopped kids from drinking this drink. Yeah, Nicole, in the chat, I am insulted that people think I'm Logan Paul sometimes. It's annoying to me. But the teachers all know who I am. So the teachers, anytime a kid says, you look like Logan Paul, one of the teachers will be like, you're much cooler than Logan Paul. Yeah. And I'm like, I know, but it's nice to hear.
Wow. Yeah. Can we also just address this in the chat? Mel Hooker says, I snuck pot brownies into Wicked and shared with neighbors.
Were the neighbors' kids, and did they know that they were laced?
The nice thing about Wicked is that it's so long that the pot brownies will take effect. Most other movies, the movie would be over by the time the brownie kicked in.
I thought maybe the effect of the brownie even wears off by the time it ends, so you can still drive home.
Yeah.
But
all right. So lots of stuff going on.
Mel's party down, Mel. Way to go.
Yeah. All right. Danny already addressed it, but we had one small step for woman, one giant leap for mankind. Katy Perry took the women to space, and they lived to tell the tale.
Are we saying Katy Perry took them to space?
It seems we're trying to say that it was an all-women thing, even though...
No, I understand that.
Yep. Yeah. The ultimate girls' trip.
It seems like the invitation probably came from Lauren Sanchez.
Yes.
So
this was like her bachelorette party.
Yeah. Which is
Lauren
cool.
Sanchez was with the group.
Yeah.
Gail that's such a short bachelorette party, though.
Yeah. 10 minutes and 21 seconds.
It was a great hen night. And probably that was just one part of it. After that, they probably went to like I don't know, the Cheesecake Factory and celebrated. But 10 minutes. 10 minutes is not a lot of time. Maybe it's a perfect amount of time to be in space.
I don't know. It seems like that pod of girls you wouldn't want to be stuck too long with. So maybe Sanchez was like, I want a bachelorette party with famous people, but I know that's going to be fucking annoying. So let's just shoot me into space. The other thing I saw was I saw some good tweets. One of them was,
there were so many good ones.
There were so many good tweets. One of them was about Jeff Bezos paying $150 million to have a half hour by himself or something like that.
It was not even.
Yeah.
So it was 5 women, correct? And I think
this is 6, Danny.
Oh, 6. I think they threw in one actual scientist to kind of like probably give legitimacy to the whole thing. I think there was one astrophysicist, and other than that, it was
it Katy Perry?
No,
Okay.
but she did. And I just want to jump into this next story because this is really the most annoying part of this story. Could you imagine being in orbit and just like taking in the sights and the sounds, even though it's short-lived, and somebody on your flight starts singing? Like, how obnoxious would that be?
Oh, was she singing?
And Katy Perry sang.
She sang the song "What a Wonderful World," which I don't even know that must have eaten up almost
like, yeah.
full 10 minutes.
Did she sing it all the way from back to front, or did she just
know.
sing like a blurb of it?
You know, people like her, of course, sang it from the start to the end.
Oh my gosh, she probably sang the long version. You know, when you go to a baseball game, you're like, how long is the national anthem? Because I don't remember it being this long. And they're like, long. Like,
you know what, Tyson? That's
that
better than some of the people who sing the anthem.
Yeah.
You've got a great voice. But I would love to go into space, and I'd love to just be there and float in weightlessness and see, you know, the Earth.
Danny, I know this is your dream.
But someone singing would annoy me more than the sun shining directly into my naked open eyes.
What if it was you that
would drive me insane? I would not sing in orbit.
Play some Martin Sexton on your acoustic guitar while singing and then floating around.
Well, I think someone did sing on one of the SpaceX flights. I want to say that someone also took an instrument she played the violin. That's what it was. As someone who has played the violin for 8 years, also super annoying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The violin can be great in a professional's hands, which I think they were, but still not something I want to hear when I'm orbiting. I just want silence.
Well, what about this, Danny?
Staring at the blue marble.
What if the tribe Klarna, Hell Klarna, from space had made a mixtape of space
songs?
Extraterrestrial that are like bleep, 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 bleep,
I thought you were gonna say like whale song. Right,
or,
just like 10 minutes of whale song,
like Star Trek.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Star Trek the movie.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
4
Star Trek 4, our favorite.
The Voyage Home.
That's right. They
with
go
the whale
get
song.
that whale and save the Earth. I would prefer whale song to Katy Perry singing. Anyone singing, because the minute they start singing, and it's you haven't invited them to do it, it's just so uncomfortable.
I think they worked it out. I think that they probably had like a set list for what they were going to do for the 10 minutes.
They were like, you can either have Gail talk or Katy Perry sing.
You think there was an agreement beforehand on?
I think that they kind of like, plotted out what the 10 minutes were going to be.
Because wasn't it an album release announcement party cover thing?
Was it?
I think
if it was, that makes more sense. But
I think there was something.
It'd be really hard for me. Like if I was in that spacecraft and Katy Perry's like, "Hey, is everyone cool if I sing a song when we're
And they're like, "We will be if you give us camel toe suits."
I would love to be the person like, "No, I would prefer that you not do that." I mean, would that even stop a person like Katy Perry from singing?
No.
Everybody looks so good going to space. Everybody has their hair done and face on point.
Suit jumpers.
Yeah, those jumpsuits.
Look at these poses.
Yes.
It's incredible.
And they all seem pretty happy to be doing something so dangerous. That is pretty dangerous.
I mean, they made it.
Yeah, they made it, but I mean, it's not exactly safe. So I was, kudos to them for either they weren't aware of the risks, they didn't even bother to think about it.
This vibe here would be a lot different if the risks played out.
Yeah, could you imagine a
We're all sobbing. Danny's like, "Oh, I already miss her voice, Katy Perry. That's
know what though, Jeff?
I could do with just her singing all the time. She's a legend."
Jeff Bezos was probably sweating bullets because the PR disaster that would come from this exploding in orbit.
That would have been the one shot for Arneson.corn to really get a foothold.
Step in and take some of that ground because it would destroy Blue Origin. If you blow up if one of those things blows up with that many celebrities, I think it's safe to say you're done.
It would have been,
but which of those celebrities? I haven't celebrated any of those celebrities on a regular basis.
They're big. They're superstars.
Yeah, all of them. Who else?
Gayle King is a big deal.
So what's she do? She's a talk show.
Oprah's
she does.
friend.
Well, she hosts.
She's
the
Oprah's
CBS
friend.
early show. She does a lot of hosting.
But if you blow up Katy Perry, that's why in future flights, you really need to take B, C, D level celebrities.
I mean, just think about like the guys that died in like the La Bamba plane crash. Like, you think that anybody would remember Richie Valens if he didn't die in a plane crash?
If Gary Busey blows up in space, there's, you're going to get attention from Gary Busey being in your aircraft, your spacecraft. But if it blows up, you're not risking that much in terms of that PR.
And this is just like, what if? So what if like the Challenger style thing happened and they were playing Baby You're a Firework during?
That would be bad.
That would just be, you're done. Like fold it up, give your .com over to Arneson and just walk away.
I think Bezos already probably had it planned. He's like, okay, all morning clothes, MOURNING on Amazon, 50% off. Get it queued, one button, push, just in case.
I was thinking it does seem like a pretty good way to get rid of an enemy or someone you didn't like. You put them on your spacecraft, you go out and waggle a tube, any tube, because
I think there's a lot of liability there. You don't think that Jeff is sweating like I have some liability.
No. Accidents happen, and especially in space, it's so dangerous and unpredictable.
If you like murdered somebody on the ground, Tyson, you go to jail. But you get somebody to go into your spaceship and the spaceship explodes. It's like
international orbit.
Yeah. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Think about it. Hey, get in my submersible. Nobody's going to jail.
Yeah. You're not thinking. So wait, the submersible?
Yeah. Rob, did anybody go to jail about this when those guys got like completely? Crushed? Yeah, like
further,
compressed into nothing.
We still don't know, do we? If they did, because we didn't ever find them.
Oh, you think it's a conspiracy?
They're down there.
They're still down there waiting for us.
Yeah.
I think the perfect crime is, and if you ever get an invitation from your enemy to go into space, definitely don't accept it because it's just anything. The smallest problem can just cascade into disaster. So. Only accept invitations to space from friends that actually like you. That's my advice going forward.
Sage advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So Katy Perry and the crew got back, and everybody was super excited for the most part.
So happy.
Here we go. Pop Crave was announcing that Katy Perry has returned to space, but the internet's favorite provocateur stepped in, Wendy's.
Yeah.
And they came and said, can we send her back?
Oh, got it. Wendy's. Wow.
What is Wendy's beef? Yep. With Katy Perry.
Powerful.
What's happened there? I ate at Wendy's yesterday. It was disgusting.
And Danny,
but did you finish?
I am sorry. I have tried. I have given Wendy's so many chances to go back to their glory days. I'm like, I'm really craving, after all staring directly at the sun for 5 hours. I'm like, a spicy chicken sandwich, cold fries,
never frozen,
sloppy sandwich. I'm like, this is just, I'm done. I'm done.
Frozen.
So great take on Katy Perry. But still, make better, spend more time on your spicy chicken sandwiches and less on Katy.
People were upset. People did not like that they did this.
They didn't like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how upset? Like, what are we getting? Like,
Katy Perry fans were very upset.
Were some people happy with it, or everybody was upset?
I bet you there's a group called like the Katy Cult, right? And they're probably devoted followers of Katy Perry.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only imagine.
Don't think they can't say like, I like Katy Perry, but I gotta admit that was funny.
Yeah.
Katy Perry came back to Earth and kissed the ground.
Yeah, she's so happy to
I
be
mean,
back, dude, after that
she
harrowing.
she
She had
did
to
something.
sit. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Tyson.
No, she just had to sit for 5 minutes, and then she was so happy to be back.
I mean, probably flying across the Atlantic is more dangerous in some respects than what she did.
Yeah. Do we know? Is she throwing up? Maybe is that what's going on?
Yeah, could be. She took a flower into space
Mm-hmm.
to, represent her daughter. She did all sorts of things to get she hogged all the attention. She took all the air out of the capsule and just like nobody else got any attention. It was just like all her. And I mean, that's who we're talking about right now. We're not talking about Sanchez, which when I just say her last name, it just brings me so much more joy. Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't wait. How many more Katy Perry stories do we have?
I think that's it for today.
Oh,
this is the first time we might have ever talked about Katy Perry on News AF. So she really did make an impact here.
Yeah.
Metaphoric.
Okay. All right. In other news, okay, are you all ready for the world's first sperm race?
Oh,
First
fuck
of all-
yeah.
First of all, can we discuss the website that this came from?
Yeah. Exactly.
What is this? Okay, so let's proceed with the story, but let's just take it with a grain of salt.
I have to allow ads to show it.
Well, of course you do. A website like this will demand that you allow ads.
Yeah.
Third
Nobody talks about
party.
the sperm race unless they're allowing ads.
I want to look.
Sperm race between Russia and China. It's like the new space race.
Okay, here's world's first sperm race.
How exciting!
Mm-hmm.
What did the winner get?
All right, well, that they're announcing the world's first sperm race for April 25th. It's going to be at the Hollywood Palladium, and over 1,000 spectators are expected to be there live.
But they have to magnify everything, right? Or do
yes, there will be a microscopic racetrack, which will be broadcast. It will be mimicking the human reproductive system with chemical signals and high-resolution cameras to track sperm movement for viewers.
What does the winner get?
Fertilized.
How much are courtside seats?
No information on ticket prices yet.
I am looking currently at the Hollywood Palladium. It gets a 4.5 on Google, so
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What an event.
The event is designed to raise awareness about declining male fertility.
Oh, we don't care about that. We all already know that we're declining our fertility.
Yeah. Now, where did they get this sperm from? Is this sort of like I think it would be interesting if we had like the identities of like we can find out like whose sperm, like what if they had like Usain Bolt's sperm?
Yes, that's exactly what we need. We need people like that where you're like, oh, they're the epitome of what we think health is. Or are they?
And then maybe
Brian Johnson versus
Brian Johnson. That's what I was going to say. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like, what do we get? Like The Rock. Well, let's just get like all these different, like, masculine types. But then let's also like
hilarious.
Let's get like some nerds in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can any of us name a nerd?
Yeah.
Bill Gates,
Stephen Hawking on ice. Maybe that saved. Is Stephen Hawking still alive?
No,
he's
dead.
Yes, on ice, something like that.
Yeah.
Bill Gates's would be great. All the billionaires can submit their sperm.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And then,
do you think there's going to be betting?
Yeah,
oh, that's
for sure. They should.
Yeah,
Tyson, you should probably get in on this.
Do you think the Rock's sperm has like arms on them? Punch,
maybe.
punch.
Seems like it from cartoons I've seen.
Yeah.
So the race is going to involve only 2 sperm samples.
All million, like, isn't there like a million of them in one sample? Are they just going to release like millions
from the same person? Are they from 2 different people?
I think it's unclear.
Will the donors be on hand?
Yeah,
not excited.
The guys should be like,
donate.
No, you have to go
like a tail of the tape. They should like smack talk during the race.
Yeah,
and they should also have to start by ejaculating in person in the moment onto the
like
racetrack.
there should be like a ramp that they just like ejaculate onto.
Guys, This is science, okay? You're not taking
Uh-huh.
this serious enough. This is a science race, really.
Yeah.
This isn't like a frat house event.
Okay.
This
Well-
is like microscopes.
Is it?
Danny, there's going to be live commentary and betting.
Okay, there's the betting.
On
Mhm.
FanDuel?
Is it on FanDuel?
I don't think
know.
I don't think this is a safe way to bet because you can't visually confirm that it is actually happening.
I think that maybe you're betting on like the time of like when will a sperm complete the race?
Just
as
seems like
opposed
it'd be easy to rig if you know
Well, what if
the mobsters get involved.
And I have no frame of reference whatsoever how far a sperm can travel either. Like, can a sperm
Miles and miles.
It depends on a lot of things, I think.
That's the thing. So, like, how do you even place a bet like that?
Well, the average sperm moves at 5 millimeters per minute.
Oh, this will take
That's
forever.
so slow. And what? It's a
pretty
mile.
slow.
You said it's a mile long race.
I don't know how long the race is.
I don't think it's a mile. I don't think they could live to swim a mile
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, challenge accepted, Danny.
unless it's in a hot tub, because supposedly in hot tubs they live for a
Oh, they
longer time.
thrive. They
Yeah.
thrive.
They love it.
in hot
They love
tubs.
it. Yeah, I wish we could send a live reporter out to go cover the great sperm race.
Can we get
Let's
someone with like an
debate.
old timey voice?
We
Like,
do
who are the
debate?
people that are attending?
Pete, will you be there?
I feel like this will be a seedy event. You know?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
I
At
would
the
want to be.
Hollywood Palladium.
I
What
wouldn't
about-
want to be seen there.
What about the atom thing in Switzerland where they have an atom travel like
Oh.
a trillion billion?
Yeah, CERN.
Yeah. Let's use this. Let's put the sperm
Smash
in there.
sperm and create like a spermy black hole.
Yeah. So I'm on the Hollywood Palladium website. They
Uh-huh.
don't seem to be advertising the great sperm race.
This is a lie because the website.
Was it
does
posted on
make
April
you feel like-
1st, Rob? Did you check the date?
I think it was today. It got posted today.
Oh,
Well, haha, they got you. Tax
April
day joke.
14th. Yeah. Is it April Fool's month?
Could be.
you
know,
never know.
If the Palladium doesn't have it, that could just be because they're embarrassed. They rented the venue before they realized what it was for.
Yeah,
Is
that might
a
be
new funny
a
joke?
private event.
Is that a new funny joke to rent these huge venues? But then in the thing, it's like, if after the place discovers what your event is, so it's supposed to be something totally different. It was
Yeah.
like
Wet T-shirt contest.
or no, who sings "She's My Cherry Pie"? Warrant.
Warrant.
It was a Warrant reunion concert. That was initially what it was, but ticket sales were so down
Yeah.
that they're like,
Yeah, they
oh, the
did.
only way to get out of the contract of the venue is to create something that they decide can't be at their venue. So let's do this. So they're advertising it as this, but it's just a failed Warrant concert.
I
Mhm.
I get what you're saying. Make it so unpalatable that
The
like,
venue
no.
has to cancel on you, and you're like,
Yeah,
fine,
you-
refund our money. And they're like,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Yeah, that's how this is how you that's going to work around. It's going to work once or twice, and then venues are going to catch
Yeah,
on and be
catch
like,
on.
yeah, bring your great sperm race to the
Mhm.
velodrome. Or
I feel like
whatever
Warren
it's
would
at.
have to be like, oh, by the way, our opening act is a sperm race.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, that was not in the contract.
Yeah, yeah, yes. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
They're like, our whole show hinges on it.
Just-
Okay. All right. For more information, you can find out what's going on when you head over to spermracing.com.
Don't put that in your browser.
That's the incognito tab.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles race announcement is coming in one day.
In 1
1,000
day.
seats, 100 VIPs, one arena.
Should we get a
100
courtside table?
Want to read the manifesto or no? It's too scary.
It's probably too scary.
Mm-hmm.
Manifestos. Should
Is
have-
it human sperms?
They say sperm racing, 2 legends, 1 microscopic racetrack. So it makes it sound like it is going to be like some sort of like Jake Paul versus like Mike Tyson type situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
2
wow.
legends, Danny.
You think
Two
it's a Mike
legends.
Tyson and Jake Paul rematch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
We're gonna find
You
out who
think-
it's gonna be.
Yeah,
Jack
I wasn't
Nicklaus-
excited before, but now I am.
Jack Nicholson just sitting courtside with his
Mhm.
Lakers jersey on.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Is this the new sport? Like now
It could
people
be.
are so tired of going to the gym and working out and executing feats of physical prowess. So they're just like, let's let our sperms.
I
do
mean,
it.
horse racing could easily turn to this. Like just
Mhm.
become horse sperm racing.
And they're off.
Do you think though that are they going to drag an egg from a uterus
By a
That's where eggs
string,
are.
like
By
a
a
carrot.
It's like a greyhound.
like the greyhound.
I think that's the only way to get them to run.
That's what I think
Yeah.
too. They run,
Well, swim. Sorry,
swim.
I
Yeah,
was still
Mhm.
thinking of horses.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sure there's going to be more information about this as we get closer.
Are
Okay.
there bigger sperms in the animal kingdom that we can see with the naked eye?
Probably
we
like a
don't-
whale.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my!
a whale sperms, blue whale
Sperm
sperms.
whale. Yeah.
Oh, a sperm whale.
It's probably why they
Sperm
call
whale
it that.
sperm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have the biggest. They only ejaculate one giant sperm.
Each sperm is probably the size of like a salmon.
A dolphin. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's science, kids. That's science.
You ever see those giant whales?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen the
I've seen
giant
them.
whales. A dolphin-sized sperm.
That would be scary, actually.
Sometimes, yeah. You know those things that wash up on shore? They're like, we don't know what that is. It's just some giant weird thing. That's a one
Squid
single.
seed. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think that Danny only wants to hear their songs when he goes to space?
I don't want to hear. Yeah, it's so soothing. I
Yeah.
just don't. But I don't want to think about what they're putting out into the ocean. Polluting, actually.
That's why the aliens like them so much.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
Mhm.
I've learned a lot this episode of News AF.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Okay. All right. No, you can if you want to have a sperm race. Danny. Okay. All right. Then also in Los Angeles, this is a story about a man, 71-year-old man. I'm sorry, it was reported from KTLA, but it was from Nevada. He got arrested for having 7 emotional support tigers.
Not surprised. When you drive through these states like Nevada or Idaho, you
Mhm.
see these houses out in the middle of nowhere. Anything could be happening in those houses. Like
Yeah.
if you
Mhm.
told me that random old rickety house in the desert had 7 tigers in it, I'd be like, yeah, that's totally possible.
Yeah.
It's
You'd
just
be
a
like,
great place to hide your weirdness.
Mhm.
But I mean, what kind of emotional support do you get from tigers? For me, it'd be fear.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Fear.
emotional
Most
support is like
of all.
if
They
somebody's
just-
coming to kill you, like I have
adrenaline,
these- yeah.
adrenaline
That's true.
constantly.
That's
That is
true, Rob.
like a moat of tigers.
Tiger
Yeah.
Moat. Sweet band name, by the way. Tiger
Right.
Moat.
better than Warrant.
Mhm.
Yeah. She's my cherry pie.
7 emotional support tigers.
Yeah.
Were
living
they
in
like
your house.
you only need 6?
Well,
They're like 7 actually swings you back the other way.
these are actually famous tigers because they actually came from Joe Exotic. When Joe Exotic went to jail, I
Oh.
guess that his tigers got shipped off.
They had to go somewhere. Nevada
Mhm.
makes sense. It's
Mhm.
the land of tigers. A lot of famous tigers in Nevada.
Yeah.
So, what do they do with these tigers? Put them to like a tiger rescue place, probably.
Which
Yeah.
is actually the man's house. So
Back
they're
to
like,
Joe.
"Well, the only
Joe's place?"
registered rescue is your home." So
Yeah,
I
they're
guess,
sent off to an animal refuge.
yeah.
7
Who
emotional.
was the other woman with Joe Exotic?
Oh yeah.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Carol Baskins.
Yeah, they sent her to our house.
Yeah, they go to Carol Baskins to eat her
My
former
wildlife
husband's.
sanctuary.
Yeah.
This just shows how easy it is to get an emotional support certification for any animal on the internet, because they probably
Mhm.
had paperwork like, no, these tigers are. Look, I have this doctor's note.
Yeah.
I
I can
need
even
these
fly
tigers.
with them. I can
Yeah.
fly.
By the way,
But
tigers, terrifying animals.
horrifying.
So they seem so scary. I would not mess with tigers. Having 7 around. I mean, he's 71, so maybe he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, if only.
Well, do you know what they were helping him with?
Emotions.
Yes,
Yeah.
his post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah. It's the only way to feel anymore
Mhm.
after you've been through something as gnarly as that man's been through.
If you were like, yeah, you lived a life filled with adrenaline, like base jumping and stuff. And then as you got older, physically, you couldn't still take those risks.
Yeah.
So you needed 7 tigers, hungry tigers around you constantly.
This is the future of Travis Pastrana's.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The man said that he got prescribed the tigers for his PTSD.
I would love to be that doctor.
But
do you think, so you go in and you're like, I have PTSD, and the doctor's like, well, tell me a little more about yourself. And then he writes you a note. He's like, go turn that into the pharmacy, and you take it and you're like, I can't read. And they're like, oh, that says 7 tigers.
Here are your tigers, sir.
Yeah. Here's your tigers. They put them in a sterilized bag, hand them to you. And yeah, that's it. Okay. What were you going to say, Rob?
Yeah, that the VA said that they do not prescribe tigers for any medical purpose. So this man, there seems to be a miscommunication.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay. All right. We're going to talk about Gen Z in the workplace.
I guess if we have to.
Yeah. Gen Z, they are moving away from traditional work attire to move towards active wear, such as leggings and exercise gear.
This is shouldn't be a headline. We've all known that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because I haven't been in an office in a very long time. I mean, there are some
in public.
Like if I went to a doctor's office and they were wearing athleisure wear,
that's what they've been wearing. They're the first ones. They started.
No, they wear scrubs.
The scrubs are now
the
made
scrubs
by
are
Lululemon.
more.
Now everybody wears scrubs.
Yeah, scrubs are still more of a uniform
mm-hmm.
than wearing like tights or whatever. Like I have some Vuori stuff, some athleisure wear, and let me tell you, it is way more. It is way more casual than scrubs. I know scrubs are comfortable, but at least they give they present the person as like, this is a doctor.
Only because that's what your body has been trained.
And that's fine. If you're now telling me that they're going to change it and they're going to be wearing sweatpants, now I'm a little bit more concerned when the guy holding the scalpel is wearing sweatpants.
Well, what about your lawyer?
Same thing. Like if you go to your CPA, Tyson, and he's dressed in a sweatsuit or he's wearing sweatpants, aren't you going to think, is this guy qualified? I want him to take this seriously, and the pants he's wearing aren't really speaking to me like he's going to take this seriously.
I don't think I'd be bothered if I already knew the CPA. Like if it was my CPA right now and I went in next year.
This is cold contact.
Cold contact.
Yeah.
I think if everybody's wearing them, then that's the norm. Like what if it goes reverso and at work you just are like in bathrobes and slippers to be comfy to really optimize your focus on work, and all the other times you get a little more dressed up.
No, and you know what? I'm not saying crimes aren't committed in suits. Obviously, lots do. But it's just there's something about someone who's dressed up for the thing they're doing that makes me feel more relaxed.
What if we wore suits to do the podcast? Like, there's not a lot of that out there.
People would trust us more for sure.
Absolutely.
I saw a headline that said that if you dress up, people assume you know almost twice as much.
Wow.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I feel like people should have to dress up to get onto planes. I think that would help curb a lot of bad behavior if people were all dressed up.
Yeah, if they had to wear $1,000 suits.
Not even $1,000 suits, just if they had to wear like a shirt and tie and slacks. Like, I think people would be, again,
I would never travel.
That doesn't guarantee that bad behavior doesn't happen in a shirt and tie and slacks.
So, Danny, we're going to Norway.
Activity up.
We're going to Norway. You're wearing a shirt and suit and slacks, and then we get out and you're just trucking that around in your backpack the whole rest of the time to travel home in?
No. That has like one zipper down the middle. I can take it all off at once.
Wow.
And then underneath, I'm wearing my athleisure wear.
So it's just like a onesie costume?
Yeah, actually, didn't we talk? I swear we did talk about a onesie suit a long time ago. So that has been invented.
Like for strippers?
No, like an actual like shirt and tie.
Yeah.
Look, guys, I think that
you want to go more relaxed, but less relaxed.
I think there are jobs, not all jobs. Let's be realistic. But I think there are some jobs that require people to dress up.
Okay.
Like Gen Z, you can ditch a lot of, like, if you're just sitting in the office doing work in a cubicle, you don't need to be dressed up. But if you're public facing, you probably should be dressed up.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't care. If it's clean and it's nice, like a lot of this athleisure wear is more expensive than the suits and stuff. So like just flex with like the right athleisure and we're good to go.
All right.
I got one more story before we go to Danny's bolt hole. What would you do if you were on the phone calling 911 and you heard the 911 operator ordering their breakfast?
From you or just in the back?
No, like they're multitasking and ordering a McGriddle.
How long did it take? Were they like, hold on one sec, a McGriddle? Okay, can I help? Like, then I'm fine. But if it's just like, give me 10 minutes.
They got the biscuit, I'd be upset. But they got a McGriddle, I'd be like, hey, good choice.
Yeah.
Wait,
someone I can trust.
You're a McGriddle guy?
Oh, heck yeah. Have you ever had
Yeah, I've
never had one.
They're too overpowering for me. I can eat one and they're fine, but I'm a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit guy.
Oh my gosh.
And then you just need a lot of liquid because the biscuit's dry.
It's like just all the moisture from your mouth. I've been given the biscuit a handful of times by accident, and it's so gross.
I was given Rachel
biscuits.
gets the egg McMuffin without meat, so it's just egg and cheese. And they charge you the same, but they take the meat off. And I get the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. And one time she opened mine and took the meat off and threw it away and then made all the changes to it. And then I opened and I had the thing she had. I was like, why did you eat mine? She's like, I thought it was mine. I was like, but it's a biscuit and it's got bacon on it. And it was a whole thing. I mean, we're still married, but
what was the emergency that was taking place? Because there's
all right.
levels.
So
but they don't know
in Georgia, and there was a man, and he had a home invasion. You report a possible break-in. Well, actually, somebody was snooping around his home, and so he called 911 and heard the operator saying, "McGriddle."
This also could be he didn't hear her correctly, but if someone told me that someone was snooping around, I'd also order a McGriddle. But if you told me that there was someone in your house, that's not a McGriddle time. It's like important as a member of society to recognize a McGriddle moment and a non-McGriddle moment.
Yes, a McGriddle moment. So here's the thing, though. Is this the play where, like, okay, you're 911 dispatch. You get a bunch of bullshit calls where you have to be like, this isn't an emergency. This is one of those moments where they're like, there was a person walking down the sidewalk in my front yard looking at my house. And you're like, and then they're like, they turn the mute button on real quick and they're like, McGriddle moment. And then everybody pretends like there's more important things.
I think I could play the 911 call. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if we can hear the order.
Have the verdict on this. This is from WSB TV.
Chatham County dispatch leaders are reviewing a 911 call from earlier this year after the dispatcher was ordering breakfast.
McGriddle. Sorry, what?
It was in February. Dylan Johnson.
Also, I just want to say that if you're a 911 caller, maybe you've just become so cynical. Because like Tyson was saying, you've sat there and you've answered so many stupid calls that you've lost all faith in humanity, and your McGriddle takes priority over people.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what after the McGriddle order was a little damning.
Yeah, that didn't sound great. If she just slipped in McGriddle and then nothing else was said, that would be amazing. But yeah, I'm sorry. What? Can't AI take a lot of these 911 calls?
AI, can AI just take the breakfast order?
Yeah, either one. I feel like both of
AI
these are
to do the
AI jobs.
I don't know if we're ready for AI to take over the 911 call, because I kind of feel like that, you tell the AI like, hey, I think there's somebody going around my house. I think there's an intruder. It's like, okay, so it sounds like that you have a noise complaint. No, it's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe it's not prime time.
It sounds like that you want to talk to the parking ticket department.
I obviously, if you're there to do a certain job, you shouldn't be ordering McGriddles. In all seriousness, especially if you're taking 911 calls.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta
do their
like,
best. Don't do their best work when they're hungry. So you also want your 911 operator to be well fed. It's a difficult situation.
I guess so. Do you why isn't McDonald's giving 911 dispatchers free McGriddles? And they just have a stack of them at all times there.
What if it was a headset radio cross-up? You know, they're both wearing headsets at McDonald's. And
you think the trend
the drive-through like radio got
crisscross?
Yeah.
The old-timey lady plugged the wrong plug into the board.
Yeah. That's at least what the operator should have gone with. I'm sorry, sir, that this happens all the time. They patched in the McDonald's drive-through into my headset.
Sorry.
No, I don't know anything about McGriddle.
No, I don't want to McGriddle.
And orange juice.
Yeah, and a large Coke.
What are they even talking about?
Oh, I thought your name was Mr. McGriddle.
Jonathan McGriddle? That's
Jonathan
not you?
McGriddle?
Hold on. We have a celebrity in the chat. Shane Powers will say, how do we shoot the three of you to Mars?
Well,
sweet. I mean, we'll die of cancer and pain on the surface of Mars, but
one of us needs to be a celebrity. Check. One of us needs to.
I can get a science thing.
None of us know a billionaire.
Yeah,
we need to know a billionaire.
A reporter.
I don't know any billionaires.
I know billionaires, but they're barely billionaires.
Yeah, you need a big time billionaire.
Yeah, like a multi-billionaire.
It's crazy that just $1 billion isn't enough anymore. Like just $1 billion?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, we all know billionaires.
That's embarrassing. Just $1 billion.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Danny, are you ready to take us not to Mars, but to your bolt hole?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Danny Bryson's galaxy famous bolt hole.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
Yeah. I'll have the sausage, egg, and cheese on a bagel.
Excuse me?
I mean, Danny's bolt hole.
Danny's bolt hole.
It would not offend me right now if you ordered a McGriddle. It would offend me if you ordered a biscuit. Then I'd be like, no. My time is worth a McGriddle. It is not worth a biscuit.
Wow. Biscuit. So if we were traveling and you were like, okay, we're getting McGriddles. I was like, I actually want a biscuit. And you're like, and then we don't.
I wouldn't order it. They're like, you know how you tell the driver what you want?
Yeah.
I'd be like, can I get a McGriddle? Then
Two McGriddles. Two McGriddles. Oh,
yeah. Can I get another McGriddle?
Two McGriddles. And I'd be like, no, I want a biscuit. And you're like, no, you don't.
No.
And then keep driving.
I intentionally ignore my kids and wife sometimes when they throw a last minute thing at me. I'm just like, that's everything. I feel like you should have known beforehand and not yell it at me right as the lady's wrapping up. It really irritates everyone.
I like the TikToks where the young person is telling their boomer parent what to order at Starbucks. And they're like, get one rusty trombone and Cleveland steamer. And they go through the whole list. Yeah.
I wouldn't put up with that. Actually, it's good we're talking about food because I came across this interesting concept at a restaurant in Thailand, which they're offering discounts and they've been getting a lot of blowback on this, but
you can White Lotus.
No, you can get a discount, and maybe that's why it came up because Thailand's so hot right now.
It's so hot, dude.
But you can get a better discount. The skinnier you can squeeze between these two bars. So they have like full price, which is big, 5%, which is slightly smaller than full price, 10%, 15%, and 20%. And you squeeze through the bars to see which discount you can get. And
is this at just a restaurant?
This is at a random restaurant. Now they're getting a lot of rage, right? Which I can kind of understand.
Is it an all you can eat restaurant where they're like, this gauges how much we think that you're going to be able to.
Not a bad idea. Yeah, not a bad idea, Tyson. That's not how they're using it. They just thought that this would be an entertaining way to bring in customers. Here's my problem with this story, right? First of all, I've never seen this restaurant. I don't know if it really exists. There is a picture of it in a video of someone going through the bars, but I also feel like this exists in some backwoods restaurant, you know what I mean? In some jungled section of Thailand, and that someone just stumbled across this. It's not something happening, in all of Thailand. It's not that big of a deal. But I did the minute I saw this story, I was curious what kind of discount I could get. And if I went to a restaurant that had this, I would find this to be a fascinating thing.
So let's see. Danny, maybe the 10%, maybe the 5%. You're not getting through 20%.
No, I don't think I'm getting through 10. This guy,
how many people get stuck also?
That guy looks stuck.
Yeah, he does look stuck, and he's not getting 15. He's got to be realistic.
He's not even getting 10.
He's probably getting a 5.
He's maybe getting 0.
But I like this idea for Tyson in terms of a buffet.
Yeah, if it's a buffet, I think you do have this because somebody's like, oh, kids can get through the smallest one. And you're like, yeah, they eat nothing at a buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, he's not getting 15.
He's trying to get through 15. And his friends
you
trying
can
to kick
push
him through.
Nope, don't force
that shouldn't be
Somebody's
allowed.
going to break a rib.
Or butter yourself up. You should not be able to butter yourself up or strip naked. It's
that guy don't get your head in first. That's trouble, buddy.
Yeah. Is there a strategy to this, Tyson?
You don't want to get your head stuck between the bars. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
full price, sorry. Oh, he got 5% discount.
5% for
which
this
is
guy.
what we thought, right?
Yeah.
I think we all looked at the guy and thought, this is a 5% guy.
Yeah.
He's a 5%.
Make sure you don't want to eat before you go in.
Yeah. You want to definitely
Slim down.
Go for a run in some plastic bags.
And if this becomes the norm, then instead of seeing like the perfectly round head baby shapers, you're going to have the like flattened head
People getting
flatteners.
like surgery.
Just
Right.
the head, or wearing those helmets, but they're flattening them so that
For a 10% discount.
yes,
So
on
worth
all
it.
foods, yeah.
Yeah.
So worth it.
Okay.
By the way, your head, I mean, unless you have a giant head, it seems like your butt is the hardest part to get through,
Yep.
not your
And also
head.
Mel says so unfair to people with boob jobs too.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Is
They should have like a boob cutout.
The boob job.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's not right.
One or the
No.
other, guys. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I mean, especially not if you're going to do it before trying to get the discount.
Yes, that's right.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's out there. That's a thing. If
Okay.
you want to get some, a percentage discount, try to
Yeah.
squeeze through those bars.
If you're
Okay.
slender man and want to eat for a little bit discounted rate, then that's the place to go.
Not the Slender Man.
No, that was
A
scary.
slender man.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Should we talk about what should the artwork be for this episode of the podcast? Of course, Katy Perry went to space
Mhm.
on the Blue Origin flight. There was the world's first sperm race.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll draw a picture of sperm.
Yeah.
Space race and sperm race. All in the
Maybe,
same-
well, it has to have Katy Perry.
Yeah,
I think it
we-
should also have a spaceship, maybe Wendy's involved.
Okay.
And maybe some emotional support tigers on the rocket.
Yes.
Could you imagine some tigers in zero gravity with you? I mean,
They're having so
is there
much
anything
fun.
more terrifying than the 7 tigers floating in a space?
I feel like I'd
capsule?
rather battle 7 tigers in zero gravity.
No way. The tigers are absolutely going berserk
Yeah.
in zero gravity. Claws everywhere.
Yeah, but they are anyways on the ground. I feel like I have a fighting chance of pushing them away or
So which would you rather?
stabilizing.
Yeah. Fight a tiger on the ground.
Uh-huh.
Or in
I also think
zero
that just the entire experience of being in the rocket ship is like shaking up a soda can. Like they're gonna be agitated.
Would you rather?
That's what I'm saying is that a 0G tiger
Mhm.
is absolutely going berserk.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna actually. This is a poll. Would you rather fight 7 tigers in
Yeah,
zero
or-
gravity
Yeah.
on land, or in zero?
I think I'd rather fight them in zero gravity because I
What's
think
my-
that like
also,
That's
what's
what
my
I'm
weapon?
saying.
You
they're
can't use
going to
a
be a
gun.
little bit like off their game in zero
Yes,
gravity.
that's what I'm saying too. That's I believe.
With a sword, though.
Same.
That's your only
Mhm.
weapon. You have a sword. It does make sense.
A
7 tigers.
sword. You
I
don't
think-
need you don't need a sword. You just gotta avoid them.
Well, that's not fighting.
Maybe you need to glaive.
You're not fighting them. You're just trying to not get killed.
Mhm.
I don't like tigers. So
How
anyway,
long are
back
you
to
lasting?
Jimmy.
Are you lasting longer in zero G or on
10
land?
minutes. That's how long the flight lasts. So you've got 10 minutes to avoid them in 0G. And then
Yeah.
once
Okay.
gravity returns.
All right. So here's Katy Perry in space with the other astronauts, the tigers, and Wendy's.
What is that furry thing with a tie.
I don't care. I love it.
You love this?
It's intriguing.
I mean, it's just like it got lazy with Wendy's. It just threw up the Wendy's.
And it also got lazy with the tigers. They're on the ground while everybody else is floating around.
Why aren't the tigers floating in zero?
Yeah,
G?
I need the tigers floundering.
All right, we'll go back to the drawing
space.
board. Okay, so we need the tigers should be in zero gravity too.
Yes.
Okay.
That was Klarna, that guy in the tie.
Always present.
Yes.
Always omnipotent.
And maybe Wendy herself should be roasting Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Okay. Danny, what's coming up for you?
Well, I finally went out and made a video, so now I have to edit it, throw something up on YouTube to make more money so I can go on more trips, so I can throw up videos to put on YouTube. So
Never ending.
cycle never ends.
Yeah.
Until eventually my knees blow out.
And then you can only go on.
Then I'll get those cyborg pants.
Yeah.
You're going to get the cyborg pants?
Yeah, of course. The minute,
Okay.
lose my knees. That's it.
And we're just gonna hang on until then, Danny.
Oh, yeah. I did see a video of a guy wearing those pants. He said they did help a lot.
Yeah, I've seen that. That was a long time ago. And
Are those
also-
athleisure?
I thought they were Arc'teryx, but eventually they'll find their way to athleisure wear, I'm sure.
Yeah, Arc'teryx is outdoor gear for only the wealthiest.
Wealthiest. Yeah, the kind of stuff that Sanchez would wear.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Sanchez is probably
Okay.
draped in it.
All right,
what do you have, Rob?
I guess second version of it. Okay. Here's Katy Perry. So the other astronauts are a little bit more glam.
It's like Tony the Tiger.
There's Tony the Tiger. One of the tigers is going to eat the Wendy's. This one, Katy Perry's in a spacesuit.
Yeah.
One of
I
the
like that.
tigers is floating.
I
Yeah.
like that.
I like
that
that
one.
one.
Was the best. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Wendy's fries, obviously.
Yeah.
We have like 5 clones of Katy Perry.
You can never have too much Katy Perry. So many people say that, you know.
Not what Wendy said.
Yeah, they want her to live permanently in space.
Yeah. Okay. Tyson, what's coming up for you?
Survivor tomorrow and I guess Easter celebration.
Oh, that snuck up
week.
on us.
That
That's
sure
right.
did.
Yeah.
So we got that. I am playing in a charity pickleball event on Friday that I committed to that I know nothing about. So I guess I'm just rolling.
Not
in
even what the charity is.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
It could be something gnarly.
Something
could be, yeah.
nefarious.
Yeah, something nefarious. Yeah, I'm horrified now. No, it should be good. And what else do I have? That's about it. So yeah,
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Easter's on 4/20 this year.
good.
Also, second night of
Get your
WrestleMania.
edibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second night of WrestleMania on
2
Easter.
nights. Yeah.
Does it always happen on Easter?
No, I don't think they've ever done it before. I think that they're just like Easter is such a nothing burger that they're just like, yeah, just do WrestleMania on
This
Easter.
is perfect for that church wrestling group.
Yes.
It could not have happened.
Yes, this is the moment for that,
Yeah.
dude. This is the moment. Wow.
This is the moment. So
Yeah.
huge weekend for that.
Jesus battling death. Is that what?
Mhm,
Is that
probably.
what the great
Yeah.
battle would be?
My kids just had spring break. They have a half day on Thursday, off on Friday, off on Monday.
That's how ours are too. And I didn't know. And my charity thing's all day Friday. So I was like, well, have a nice.
Do we ever even have school?
Dude, I don't even know how parents that have 9-to-5ers
Mm-hmm.
have kids in school.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. It's like, and you go at parent pickup at 2:00 and go pick your kids up, and there's a trillion billion parents, and sometimes it's parents traveling as a couple to pick their kids up. And I was like, what lottery did you guys win that you can just both be here at 2:00 to pick your kids up?
Mm-hmm.
Because I won Survivor.
I always get like guilted about like my wife claims that every other dad is at every other school function. I'm like, does anybody work anywhere?
That's
Yeah,
the thing. Do
Making
they?
us look bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you can do, Rob, if you don't want to be at all those functions, or if you can't be at all those functions, is you have to buy like a Lamborghini. So that everybody's like, oh, no wonder he's not here. He is hustling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to
See,
flex.
That's what I did wrong. Okay.
Yeah, you have to flex somewhere so that seems like you're putting in extra hours while all the other dads
He's
are
killing it.
going
Yeah.
to 2:00 performances.
He just does a podcast and he can't even come to the
Yeah.
school recital.
Yeah, that's true.
He can't even come to the science fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So weird.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here on News AF. We got plenty of great stuff also coming your way. We did a pet roast on Rob and Akiva podcast.
Were they delicious?
No, we roasted people's pets.
I know. And
we didn't eat
Good?
them.
You just
did
roasted
a
them.
comedy roast.
I am embarrassed that I
oh.
laughed at your dad joke, Tyson.
Yes.
But it was good.
It
Yeah.
was good. You can't tell me you're roasting pets without me going straight there. It's over
yeah.
the grill.
So
Okay.
that was fun.
And did anybody get hurt feelings?
I didn't see any hurt feelings. A lot of people making fun of us for not knowing what it means when a cat is making biscuits. Did you know about this?
It's making poops.
No, that's what we thought.
That's what I thought.
Apparently, cats go like this sometimes. That's called making biscuits. Who knew?
Yeah, my cat.
I'm not a
doesn't do that.
cat guy.
Yeah, me neither.
Mm-hmm.
But
Tyson's Father Nature, and he didn't
I'm
even
Father
know
Nature.
that.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Apparently, this is very a lot of cats be doing this.
And we just pulled out we found, our neighbors found a cat, a desert cat, just a regular cat, but feral cats in Arizona don't do great because there's a lot of cactuses. And we went over and pulled so many cactus thorns from this cat.
Oh,
and
He was making biscuits.
He never made biscuits. He was so chill. He just was like, I'm hurt. Please pull
Mhm.
all these out. And Rachel, I got some pliers. That was my part. Rachel's part was to touch the cat and pull all the cactus things out of it.
Yeah.
And the cat,
Look
I
at
think,
you.
yeah. So growing soft in my old age.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here for News AF. We'll be back next week with another episode on Tuesday. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Hell, Klarna. We did it, guys.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.